Hello everyone. This session is to understand in detail about strings in Python. String is a data type which can store sequence of characters. For example, we can have a single variable which can store a sequence of characters like Python program. Remember, we have to write the sequence of characters within quotation. We can use double quote or single quote in Python to initialize a string variable. If it is a multi-line strings, we have to use three quotes to initialize them. We will see all these examples in our coding session. Few points to remember about string. Characters of a string can be accessed by using index. Remember, here in string as well, our index starts from 0. So very first character will have index 0. Next character will have index 1 and so on. String is iterable. So we can use while loop or for loop to iterate through all the characters present in a string. String is immutable. That means we cannot change a specific character of a string. If we want to use, for example, using index, if we put some assignment operator and set the 0th index as a instead of p, it is not allowed. Python compiler will throw an error. That proves that string is immutable in Python. In order to get or fetch the part of the string, we can always use slicing, which is similar concept what we have explained in our list session. Slicing always creates a new string from an existing string. We have to pass the initial index and the end index. That part of the string will be picked up and it will create a new string out of it. We will see the example during our coding session. There are few characters what we cannot use in the string. We have just understood that whenever we will be writing the character sequence, it has to be in a quote. Now think if we want to add a new quote here, even within the character sequence, then Python interpreter will interpret this double quote as a start of the string, and this string initialization will throw an error. In order to write double quote within a string, we have to use escape character, which is nothing but a backslash. If we put backslash and then double quote, we'll treat the double quote as a normal character, not a special character. Backslash in has a special meaning in Python interpreter. It provides a new line. There are built-in functions in string as well. Len is used to evaluate the number of characters present in a string. We can capitalize all the characters of a string using upper built-in function. Using lower built-in function, we can make all the characters of a string in smaller case. Title converts all the initial characters of each word present in a string into uppercase. Strip is used to eliminate the white space before or after the string. Split is used to split the whole string into multiple strings. We will see what is the use of it. Find takes an argument and search the same argument in the string. If the argument is present, then it will provide us the initial index of the item. If not present, then it returns -1. Replace helps us to replace part of the string with some other word or characters. Let's go to the PyCharm IDE to explore string in detail. I have created a source code to explore strings. How can we define a string? We have to provide a variable name. We will always use snake case to define a meaningful name of a variable which can store a string. The sequence of characters will be in a quote. It can be a single quote or double quote. Both means the same in case of Python. To initialize a string variable with multiple lines, we have to use three quotes. If you see here, it has 3 lines in it. How can we print strings? We have to use print function and pass the string variable. If we want to access or print a specific character present in a string, we can do so using index. Remember, even in string, index starts from 0. String is an iterable object in Python. That's the reason we can always use for loop like this to iterate through all the characters present in a string. We can format a string as well. This f is a representation of a formatted string. By using this f, Python interpreter can understand that it's a string which has to be formatted. If you see here, within curly braces, I have passed a string variable here. What Python interpreter will do, it will replace this part with the value stored within the string variable. In this case, it will be Python, and it will attach all the other sequence of characters together. We will run this program to understand it well. Let's talk about escape sequences. There could be some cases where we want to use quotation in our string itself. However, quotation has a special meaning in Python. That's the reason if you see here, it's showing some error. It cannot resolve this double quote because double quote has a special meaning as per Python interpreter. To inform Python interpreter that do not treat this double quote as a start of the string, instead use this double quote as a part of a string, we have to use backslash. If we use backslash like this, Python interpreter will realize that this double quote is part of our sequence of characters. By using this double quote, we are not defining a new string here. That's the reason backslash is known as escape character and backslash double quote is known as escape sequence. Slash n is also an escape sequence which has very special meaning as per Python interpreter. Slash n used to create a new line. Slicing of a string is used to get the subset or get the substring. Now we can fetch substring of this string. Remember, slicing always creates a new string from an existing string. How to define it? In our theory session, we have understood the syntax. We have to put the initial index here and the final index here. So if you use 0 as the initial index and length of the existing string as the end index, then it will print the whole string. In this case, I am ready to slice. If we do not put any value before and after colon, Python interpreter by default assumes the initial index as 0 and final index as length of the existing string. That's the reason even this will print the exactly same substring what line number 34 is printing. In this case, it will print the whole string. What is the meaning of this? There is no value before colon, but there is a value after colon. If there is no value before colon, Python interpreter will treat it as a default value of 0. So it will start from the initial index. It will count all the characters till index 9. Remember, as we have put end index plus 1 as 10, that's the reason it will print till 9th index. It will not print till 10th index. In this case, it will start from 5th index, which is nothing but 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 from here to the end of the string, because we have not provided anything after colon. By default, Python interpreter will treat this as length of an existing string. So it will print ready to slice. If we put 5 to 10, then it will only print ready, because R is in 5th index, Y is in 9th index. There are built-in functions in string. I have created a new string to understand all the built-in functions of a string in Python. Len is used to fetch the number of characters present in a string. All these spaces will also be counted as a character. Using upper, we can change the case of each and every characters in a string. So everything will be in capital. Using lower, we can convert all the characters into lowercase. Using title, we can make the initial character of each word into capital. Strip is used to remove the white spaces from both the ends. For our understanding, I have added a white space here. We will be removing this white space using strip. Split is a built-in function used to divide the whole string into multiple strings. It takes a delimiter. By default, the delimiter is a space. That means it will break the string based on spaces. We will run the program to see the result. If we want to find Python from this test underscore string, it will give us the index 1 because this space is index 0 and p is index 1. So finds a particular item in the string. If it is present, then it will return the initial index of that item. If the item is not present in the string at all, then it will return -1. We can use membership operator, which is in, to understand if a substring is present in a string or not. In this case, it will provide us true result. If the item or the substring is not present in the existing string, then it will give us false result. Let's run this program and validate our understanding. Sample string is printing this. Multi-line is printing this. If we want to print a particular character, it's printing like this. The character which is present in the first index is E. That's the reason it is printing E. We can also use loop to iterate through all the characters present in a string. For loop iterates through all the characters present in a string. We can use small or capital F to format a string. If you see here, the value stored within string is Python. That's the reason Python interpreter replaces this curly braces string into Python, and we are getting the result like this. Python is a programming language. Let's understand escape characters here. If you see, as we have put backslash here before the double quote, Python interpreter is interpreting this double quote as a part of the string, and that's the reason backslash has not been printed. It only prints quotation here. Slash n interprets into a new line. That's the reason if you see here, line 1 and line 2 are printed in two different lines. Slicing of a string is used to get the subset of an existing string. Here, as per our understanding, it will print the whole string. That is what it is doing. The same thing we can get using line number 35 as well. As there is nothing, means 0 to 10 will be printed here, and that's the reason it is printing I am ready. It will print fifth index to the end of the string. That is why it is printing ready to slice. It's slicing from fifth index till the ninth index. That's the reason it is printing ready. Let's understand the built-in functions. Length is printing total number of characters present in the string. As we have used upper here, you can see all the characters changed into uppercase. We have put lower here to convert all the characters into lowercase. We have used title here to make the initial character of each word into capital or into uppercase. Strip is used to remove the white spaces. That's the reason if you see all these cases, there is a white space here. However, here there is no white space. Using strip, we have removed that leading white spaces. Split is used to divide the whole string into multiple strings. That is what it is happening here. By default, as space is the delimiter, that's the reason whenever there is a space, it is dividing the string into multiple substrings. So we get Python and language, two different substrings here. However, we can pass the delimiter here as well. For example, if we want to split based on comma, we can use something like this. Find is a keyword to find the substring from an existing string, and it returns the initial index. That is the reason we are getting 1 here. There is one more character before P, which is in 0th index, and this is nothing but a space. We can use membership operator, which is in. It always gives you result in boolean form. It will be either true or false. In this case, as Python substring is present in the string, that's the reason it is returning true. For example, if we change the P into capital and run this again, you can see this has changed to false. Python is a case sensitive language. So capital P Python and small p Python are not same. That's the reason in operator is giving you false result here. Thank you for watching this video.